In the Oklahoman newsroom, this is an OU update. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell. Barry, another OU men's basketball game, another amazing men's basketball game. We saw them go to Iowa State on Monday night, a big Monday game that came down to the wire once again. Oklahoma, though, learning earlier in the day their top rank in the country. They lose at Iowa State, but still, what a fantastic game just to watch. But I think a couple things emerge. First issue is Ryan Spangler and to some extent Jordan Woodard. Sooners didn't get a lot out of either of those guys.
No, they didn't. And, you know, Woodard had been shooting so well, you would expect him to have an off game. I mean, he's shooting over 50% from three-point range. Nobody really can keep that up. So you sort of understand that. And Spangler's offense has been to some degree just sort of a bonus. What I was disappointed in was the defensive rebounding by OU, especially in that first half. Iowa State gets a bunch of second chance opportunities. That's where Iowa State's first half advantage came from. Spangler usually cleans that up, usually is an excellent rebounder. Wasn't so much. I think he finished with 6 rebounds last night, but he needs, they need more out of Ryan Spangler, definitely. Jordan Woodard, you sort of have to live with an off shooting night.
Well, and, you mentioned Spangler. In that first Iowa State game a couple weeks ago, he bangs a knee, and we've sort of seen him hobble a bit. He plays a ton of minutes at Kansas. We've seen him play a lot of minutes, but even in that West Virginia game Saturday, Barry, he had a moment where he really seemed to be in pain with that knee. So he may be dealing with an injury situation playing through it, but they need him pretty severely in that interior.
Well, you see how important he is.
Yeah.
And he's undersized, but he plays tough and still didn't see a lot of jumping. He got off on a break. His lone basket was that fast break dunk that he had, which was an excellent play, but you don't see the explosion on the jumping. You don't see, he's rebounding via position and just sort of muscling guys, and that got him last night.
You mentioned, though, a couple guys, you can't help but see that there were some guys that stepped up in those two sort of struggling, and that being Dante Buford and Isaiah Cousins reemerging. Let's talk about Cousins first, Barry. He's been in a bit of a slump. Now he comes roaring back as Jordan Woodard starts to struggle, but they need Isaiah Cousins to play well.
Yeah, and if you look for a silver lining, that was it. I mean, a guy shooting 25% in Big 12 play, who's been this solid of a performer for 4 years, and Cousins explodes last night, has an outstanding game. I think he made 10 of 15 shots, really kept Oklahoma in it until the 3-minute mark when Buddy Hield got going. So Cousins breaking out is a great sign for the Sooners. You don't want to lose a game, but if all it costs you is a loss and you get Isaiah Cousins going, you'd come home at least able to live with that verdict.
It feels like Isaiah Cousins may sort of determine how far this team goes when it comes to March. But another issue that we've talked a lot about is the bench, and I mentioned Buford. He had his best game to this point, Barry, and really gave them some solid minutes, not just doing bits and pieces. He was scoring big baskets for him out there.
Well, he making the three-pointers. He also was doing some driving. Up until late in the game, he was the only Sooner who had shot a foul shot. So I liked what I saw out of Buford. He's a good-sized body. Now, he didn't really do much with Niang when he was on George Niang, but as a young guy, that's a tough defensive assignment. He's a guy that can help them. They need more out of Dante Buford, but the scoring that we saw Monday night was definitely a plus.
Yeah, and we saw him play well against West Virginia. Maybe not as well as he did on Monday against Iowa State, but definitely a step in the right direction. Sooners got to like what they're getting out of Buford. And be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.